Hello, everyone. This is Isaiah. Welcome to the Failed Filmer podcast. This is the first episode, and this is my special guest, Natalie. I've known her for at least over 6 years now. We've become very close, and today we're just going to talk about. I mean, how are you feeling, Natalie, right now? Be genuinely honest. How are you feeling?
Um, I've been better. Today wasn't that great of a day, but all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, you don't have to tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you think happiness do you think the meaning of life is to be happy?
No, definitely not. Not at all. Because not everyone's happy. Everyone can. A lot of people fake it. So I personally think it's not. You get me?
Yeah. And what examples have you seen of like faking happiness?
Faking. For example, me. But
Yeah.
like today, people don't like me. For example, I don't like to show emotions. So and I'm usually seen as a friend to always be happy or to always have a comeback or always don't give a fuck. But in reality, I don't want to be like that. But it's just that's how my friends and other people see me. So kind of have to live up to what they want from me, if that makes sense.
Do you think it's important to live up to people's like expectations?
Well, for my friends, yeah, because I care more about my friends or family than me.
Hmm. Yeah, I find myself caring way more about other people than I do myself.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, same. I put if it wasn't for like my friends, for you guys, for my family, I wouldn't live to see another day.
Yeah. Same goes with me. Like if I didn't have any one of y'all in my life,
Mhm.
I would have already been, yeah, peace out. But I feel like I don't know. With the failed filmer stuff, I'm trying to connect everyone like around me into one big community to make it a more positive place. Because whenever I'm at school or walking around, I'm just like, oh fuck, like
Yeah,
this is terrible.
for real.
I'm like people are just wasting away like in front of you, and you can't do anything to stop it, and you're just
Mhm.
like, yeah, shit, you know.
But yeah.
How is it different? How do you think McKinney is different from Mission, Texas?
Honestly, re- here there's just a lot of Mexicans. That's all.
Yeah, just a lot more Mexicans.
There's a lot more Mexicans. A lot. I think it's more. No, I think it's less drama, but
Yeah,
more people. If that makes sense.
like more ghetto.
Yeah, more ghetto, just less drama.
Yeah.
I hear a lot. I hear a lot more drama from you all than from here.
How does like being Spanish, coming from a Spanish background, like how does that affect the way, you know, people think around your around your town?
Oh fuck! A lot of the people here are actually really racist. If you like, just there's a lot of Mexicans, but there's also a lot of white people. So just me, like I don't look very Mexican, but if I were just to walk into like a gas station, there's white people staring me down, or it's like, why are you in this store? Or there's even cashiers. There's point in time where cashiers are like, if I'm talking Spanish or I say thank you in Spanish, they're like, you're not allowed to say that. Or it's like, are you serious? Like, do
Hmm.
you? It's crazy. Even in our school, there's some racist ass teachers.
Yeah. There I don't I've come across many racist teachers in my life
Oh, I have.
that failed me on like purpose. Um just because of the way I look. Like half the class was white and I was like the only brown kid in there. I was like, yeah.
That happened to me in eighth grade, I believe. The this teacher, she was a substitute, but she was a permanent substitute.
Mm.
I was like, kind of, it was me and some other kids that were like the only Spanish kids in there, and she was a white ass teacher, and me over here, I'm talking like Spanish to one of the kids that only talk Spanish. I was talking with him, and she's like, "Y'all can't talk Spanish. This is America, whatever." Like the same bullshit you all see in like the internet. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, "Are you serious?" So then she wrote me a referral for talking back, supposedly. But I don't care. I walked out and I went to go tell the principal. So I
Do
could
you
be wrong.
think do you think school is more of a battleground now than it used to be? More of like a war zone?
Yeah, definitely. Because, well, I mean, for me, because I'm more of, if you call me out, like, I hate when a teacher calls me out. So if you call me out, I'm gonna say shit back. Or even if there's some teachers that call you out, but like they'll call you out like in a funny way. But
Yeah.
then they're like serious, or they're making fun of you, and if to the point where you're making fun of me, I'm gonna talk back. I don't care if I make a scene, and then it just ruins everything. And then I'm not even in class half of the time because I'm in the office or shit
Mm.
like that.
Like me personally, coming from a ghetto background, like coming from the ghetto, I've always avoided trouble. Like I've always tried to avoid like getting caught by the police or
Mhm.
principals or whatever, because I'm just what I've seen from me personally. I've seen terrible things happen to
Yeah.
people, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to end up dead on the street because I looked at someone wrong. You
Yeah.
know?
I mean, I think for me, like in school, it's completely different because if there's a teacher starting something with me, or I know she doesn't like me, or I know he's not doing something, or something like that, I'm gonna say something. I'm not gonna keep my mouth shut. But it's different when it's out of school. I'm
Yeah,
respectful. Like, I am respectful in general, but if you aren't to me, then I'm not gonna, like, what gives you the right for me to be respectful for you? Like, that doesn't make sense. So.
mm. Yeah. I feel like respect has to go both ways.
Mhm.
Definitely. Like if a teacher comes at you wrong, I mean, not much you can do.
Exactly. But like me, I don't mind if I have to go to the office, or I have to get a, like, what's that word? A referral, or get suspended. I really don't mind, as long as I'm getting my word out there to the teachers.
Yeah. Do you think it's important to spread your word?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Especially when I'm right and I know I'm right.
Do you feel like honesty is like a major thing in your life?
Oh yeah. If ooh, like me, I will always tell, like, I'm always honest with someone. I'm very blunt, and you've
Yeah.
known, like, I'm not afraid to tell you, oh yeah, that doesn't look right, or that's wrong, or this is right, or shit like that. But that's just me. Like, it's hard for me to tell a lie. If it
Yeah.
makes sense. Like, if I'm saying a lie, I'm probably holding back so much, and it's happened before, but it was just to keep my feelings safe, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
that topic's not important, but I think I've told like maybe 3 people about it, and they were like, "Why didn't you tell me before? Why didn't you do this?" Like, why would I? They're like, "You said you were fine. Why would I say I'm not fine?" And then you over here asking questions, and then you tell the counselor shit like that. That's just dumb. Like, there's certain things I keep to myself for reasons, but
Yeah.
there's certain things that I will, if that makes sense. Like,
I remember, I think around last year, um, I said some things about suicide on my Snapchat, and someone went to the counselor. And they're like, are you planning on committing suicide? And I'm like, no, I just thought about it. I've
yeah,
just been thinking about it. He's like, oh, we're gonna need you to get some help. I'm like, who's gonna help me?
yeah, that was me. Middle school, all throughout middle school. Like, I made
Yeah.
the smallest joke and people took me serious. Like, I was serious, but of course I was like, no, no, I'm joking. But they, yeah.
Yeah. You always have to play coy with like all the teachers. You're like,
For
yeah,
real.
I'm fine. Yeah,
I swear.
it's so annoying.
For real.
Like you can't be your genuine self. Like you can't even tell like simple jokes anymore without someone getting offended.
I know, like
It's just
even
like,
if it's not offending you, they still get it. They still find a way to get offended by it. I'm just
yeah,
like,
even if I'm like self-deprecating, like if I'm telling a joke about myself and I'm just roasting
you're like,
myself, someone will get offended for me. I'm like,
what the fuck?
it's a joke for a reason.
For real.
Like,
Oh, I hate those people so much.
people that can't handle honesty. I
See,
mean,
that pisses me off. Like me, I'm bro. That's why I asked, like, hey, do I do this? Did I do this right, or do I look good? And I want honest opinions because I don't want to be
exactly.
like, let's say, for example, I'm wearing something. Does this look good? And you say yes, but actually look like a fucking clown. I'm like going out in town looking like a clown. Like the fuck. I don't want no person that's always gonna be like, yes, you look fine. Oh my god, yes. Oh yes, yes. Like no, like be honest with me. Tell me I look fat, or tell me I look this, or tell me I look that. Like I don't mind. Like I've been through worse. Like
Yeah, and that's why I always tell people like, why would you give me praises? Praises are not going to help me. Like I need
yeah,
critiques with my work. I need
exactly.
advice on how to move forward.
Yeah,
But
nah.
it's like,
You're
oh,
this. You're
you
great.
look
You're
good, yeah,
like no. That's no. I don't give a fuck about that bullshit. Like be for real with me. I'm not gonna go cry to my fucking mom or go
yeah.
cry.
If you're a
Hello.
genuine friend and I like consider you a genuine person to me, you will absolutely tell me the truth on anything
Hmm.
because I do not care. I'm at the point in my life where I've heard and I've seen so much that anything that you could possibly say to me will not offend me anymore.
Exactly.
So it's just like,
Like I'll make jokes. I'll be like, "Did you just call me fat?" Or be like, "That's just nah. I
yeah,
don't get it. That's
it's
just
just, yeah,
me." But like, if you were talking to my middle school self, oh, that's another story. I was a little
yeah. Then I would
kid.
be more offended. But
Yeah.
now I've
Mom was
learned
like, "You?"
that's that's what life's pretty much all about. It's just learning how to basically manage multiple things around you at once. It
Hmm.
gets tough sometimes, but
Yeah.
yeah. But I would like to thank you for having you as the first member of the podcast. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
All right.
welcome.
That is the end of episode 1. I will continue off with someone else who wants to do it. Bye, guys. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Failed Filmer Podcast. It's episode 2, and today I'm talking to my I consider him my brother, honestly, because I've known him for so long, and me personally, I've never grown up with siblings, and he's just fucking awesome. His name is Ryan, and we used to live in Cove, which is our hometown. And yeah, how are you doing today, Ryan?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just doing my thing, you know.
What is one of your biggest passions in life?
Biggest passions is just to do things the way I want to do them, the way I see fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter like what it is, as long as I can do it my own way and the way I want to do it, with like the help of the people that I want me to help me. That's pretty much like my passion.
So I know you're interested in computers and technology. So what have you been doing to further your education in that?
I've been like taking like as you know, I've like taking classes for the past 2 years, like since we started high school. Like I had computer maintenance, and now I'm doing like coding. And then next year, over the next like year or two, I plan on just getting my certification license in IT, and I also want to take like all the advanced classes at the school that I'm going to right now.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
So as you know, well, as the viewers at home might not know, but we play a lot of video games together, and we've been playing majorly. We've been playing since 2015. And we've had many people go through our group, and people stay. We've always
Yeah.
had four main people in our group, which is me, Ryan, Natalie, and Edric. And we started originally playing Black Ops 3. That was like one of the first games we started playing, in Destiny 1. That was one of the first
Yeah.
games. And we've increasingly gotten closer. But at the end of senior year, we've been wanting to always go on this trip with all of the people we've ever talked to on Xbox, that have stayed around, and just, I don't know, go to, say, like San Antonio or something, just chill. But we've always been planning on that, and I think it's important to have like a really close group of friends that you can always like speak your mind to, because if if you didn't have anyone to speak to, I mean, you would just hold all your emotions in. You wouldn't have anyone to properly like explain. And I literally tell I tell Ryan everything about just everything, and we've we've like really, and I trust him with my life, and
We've grown together.
yeah, basically. But what do you think about our friendship, Ryan?
It is like it is developed into something that's just so much more than what like I ever thought I would have had personally.
Yeah.
Because seventh grade, like seventh grade was such a odd time for me just because I didn't want to be there and like I never felt like right there. And like as
Yeah.
the years went by, we all became closer as friends and shit. And it just ended up becoming like super important to me.
Yeah. I mean, I see many people like walking the halls, just trying to look for something to hang on to. Like I said in the last podcast, but I mean, some people are just struggling to even find someone to at least tell their problems to. And that's why I want to be there for people, because if like no one else will be like properly there, then I want to step up and take the reins on that.
Yeah, one person.
Yeah. And some people do get mad if I do treat them like a special case or whatever, but it doesn't come from it doesn't come from like a place of hatred. Like, I don't hate people,
or like
but
feeling bad.
yeah, and I don't feel pity for people. Like, if you want to work on yourself, you'll come to me and you'll talk it out with me. That's basically how what I think about it. But how is it in Missouri? Like, honestly.
It's very boring. Like it's very boring.
Yeah, there's just like nothing to do.
There's nothing to do, and also like there's no one to. It's not that I'm looking for people to hang out with. I'm just looking for people. I'm not even necessarily looking anymore. I like for the first few months, I just observed everybody. Everyone just seemed like the same. All the kids are like, all they do is like play all the super mainstream video games, and it's hard. It's weird to find. It's different to find someone who's actually like interesting. And if you do find someone interesting, they're like, "Oh, I'm just getting ready to get out of here. I hate this place." Like that's a common theme you'll find amongst a lot of these kids, that they're just ready to get the hell out of here.
Yeah. And I don't know why people are in such a rush to grow up, because I've never really had like a proper childhood. I was always, forced to be the adult in the situations that I was put in. So I don't know why people are they're like, oh, if I graduate, I can get the fuck out of here. I can start paying taxes. I could get a job and like all this shit. I'm like, yeah, but like you're only a teenager for like a couple of years, and then
For so long.
yeah, and then you just have to fucking grow out of it. And it's like, I mean, you should have, lived a little bit more when you were a teenager, did some dumb shit. before you became an adult and you had all these responsibilities, you know?
I can understand the reasoning why they want to grow up so quickly, because a part of me like has wanted to do that too.
Yeah. I think everyone has like wanted to grow up at least once. Like they're like, oh, I'm fucking tired of taking tests and being judged. I'm like, yeah, but in
Maybe
life
it's
there's always gonna be tests.
Yeah, with me it's more of something that I want something new. I want
Yeah.
something different. I want That's like before I used to like try planning out a lot of shit, like things just for the future. And at this point, I've kind of just let that be and be like, no, forget it. I'm not gonna plan it. I like having the mystery. I like the thought of, hey, life is gonna throw a path at me that I'm not gonna have a single clue on what to do. And I may struggle, but if I do get out of it, I'll become a stronger person. So I'd rather just have the mystery and be left to die out there in the harsh world than, actually
Yeah,
succeed.
exactly. And I feel like people care too much about, oh, how much money am I gonna get from this job, or will I be able to pay the bills? Just like,
I think it's completely valid because it's becoming a thing that a lot of people can't support themselves and their well-being nowadays. Like
yeah,
they say, do what you enjoy, like do what you love, but even then, for some people, doing what they love isn't enough to support them or their families and stuff like that.
yeah. What a fucked up world we lived in. Like, honestly,
Like you gotta find a perfect balance, and for those who do, it's just truly something special for them, and they know it too. But you
yeah.
just gotta work for it.
And I mean, we're always telling our friends, like, giving them advice. We're always like the cynical ones,
Yeah,
like completely honest. But yeah, we just face so much. It's just like, yeah. But here's another question for you. How many times have you moved throughout your entire life?
okay. Um, let's see. Okay, my goal was okay. So when I was little, we went from Florida to New York. We went from New York to Florida, one. Then from Florida to New York, two. And then we went back to Florida, three. Then we went to Long Island, four. Long Island to New Jersey, five. New Jersey to Texas, six. And then Texas to Missouri, seven. And then I'm going back to Texas, which will be eight.
Wow. Don't you find it like a little bit difficult because you want to stay in the same place as your friends that you've grown up with, but
Yeah.
there is some new opportunities. Definitely not fucking Missouri, but when you were living in New York and Florida, like, do you think your life would have changed if you would have stayed there and maybe made
It
some?
would it would be very different from what it is today. Like I would have not met I would have not met the people I talk to today. Like I'm
Yeah,
so dead serious about it. I would have not met Edric. I wouldn't have met you and Cruz. Like Joseph. As much as I hate to say it, Autumn. Like
yeah,
you guys have all impacted my life and changed my life in many different ways, and for the better. My life would be a complete 360 and 180. Just if I hadn't moved from, you know,
yeah.
from New York to Texas. And
And no matter like how much we roast each other in the parties or like whatever, but that comes from like the heart.
that's only like
It
true
comes from
friendship.
yeah, it comes from actually caring.
Yeah, because when I was younger, I never had true friends. I never thought I would, and so I just never really looked to have true friends. I never sought after all that. But now that I
Yeah.
have it, it's just something completely different for me, and I'm glad I have it.
Yeah, it's something I never want to take advantage of because if you have people that will genuinely go out of their way to help you, that's
Hmm.
just fucking amazing.
Yeah. I may seem like lazy and I may like be a huge ass procrastinator, but if you like call me out on it and I'm like, hey, I'll set my mind to it and shit, and it's for my friends and for the people I care about, I'll put everything I can into it, failure or not.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, thank you for joining me, Ryan. That is the end of this episode.
Yeah.
I will have you back on the season when we talk as a group. But yeah. Thank you for talking to me today.
No problem, no brother.
Yep. Okay, well, that is the end of the Failed Filmer podcast. Next episode will be somewhat interesting, but yeah. Okay. See ya.